Hey, Veld, how you doing? Hi, James. How you doing? I'm all right. Thursday, one more day of the week, and then I get the weekend. Hi, Jellyfish. How you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Yeah. Makes me think of Project Hail Mary. All right. Okay. Let's do our Wordle. Wow. Okay. Gotta get away from you. Okay. Ah. Mm. Mm. E.T. something, probably. Eunice fucking sitting on my desk. She's blocking my monitor, and she's got a mat in her fur. I've been trying to get it out. um, Let's go DET. Wait. Minor surgery. Come here. I got these scissors. Let me get you. Rested. All right. Cut a little bit of it off. There we go. Okay. Go with. You gotta get out of my camera, babe. Where I want you. Yeah. Accurate. I keep little scissors on my desk when she comes by. If she has like a little mat, I'll trim it off here or there. So she's learned she don't like the scissors. I do brush her. She just never stays still long enough. And she's so fluffy, like there's only so much I can do. Okay. Okay, let's see. So it's something T and there's an E in there. Bet. Ooh. But you. Oh, hell yeah. That was a guess. What the fuck? I was all right, sure. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I was kind of joking, but I'll take it. Bow, bow. Okay. Big rerouting. Canter. Cat. Cart. Skates. Hack? Hmm. You know, you gotta move your fluffy butt. Move your fluffy butt. Reeve. No. Re. Hmm. E. A. Hmm. Right. Re. Hmm. Generous. Get. Hmm. Beer. Oh. So it's ESR. Going backwards. Reroutes? Recourse. Recourse. Or course. Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah. Um. Uh. The the course. Also, how you doing, Kit? You missed a lucky pull out of my ass on Wordle. uh, E I N. Okay, try to find something else here. Sw oh, swerve. Turn. Uh, driving course? Change course? Ch ch no. Uh, um, um, um. Hi, Ghoulie. Zigzag? Oh, it might. Um, zig, zag, no. Oh, zigzag. Yeah, it's right here. I see it. I see it. It did work. Very nice. How you doing? Change course. Aha! Deviate. Oh, Deviate. Pivot. Masterpiece of all time. Bow, 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 bow. Murder tonight. All right, connections. Let's do this. Okay, let's see. Inkjet laser printers toner. Dot matrix. Remove toner. Types of printers, right? I was close. Nope. We fell for it. We fell for their fucking their trickses. What else we got? Point break. Point spot. I. You see what I'm getting at here? Period. Spot, point, and I looking at something for the first word. Hi, DB. How you doing? Oh, wait. Spot remover, eye cream, clay mask? Charcoal? Laser? Facial treatments? I don't know. I don't do makeup. uh, like spa stuff? Needle, ink, laser, tattoo, toner, ink, laser, dot matrix? No. Hmm. I'm okay. How are you doing? You already said you're doing good. I just say it out of habit. Clockwork, bullseye, period piece, charcoal, dot matrix, peel. Mm. Spot eye, point. I feel like this has to be something. Hmm. Movie, Point Break, Matrix. The Mask, The Matrix. Hmm. Hmm. Anybody else got ideas? Let's shuffle them up, see what we get. Charcoal, ink, toner, pitch. Pitch is like tar. Hmm. They're black? Nope. Close though. There's something in there. Something in there. Whoops. Let's see. What are we on here? What do we got? Charcoal ink toner. I think it's this, and then we're just missing one. Dramatic green. Rip. Nope. Didn't get one. Fuck off. Skincare products. Okay, so I was kind of right with that. Peel and toner. I don't know if toner is a skincare product. Shades of black, charcoal jet ink pitch. Okay. Associated with precision, bullseye, clockwork, laser, and needle. And starting with tiny marks, dot matrix, period piece. Oh! Dot, period, point, and spot. Bullshit. It's bullshit is what it is. honey, I can feel your pain. Enjoy it just a little bit. Does that make me insane? Okay, let's get the game going. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Okay, change the game category. Root trees. Bloop. And then I move this here. I guess I should get small. Hang on. Bloop. Am I too small? I'm pretty small this time. Okay. Okay. Continue. Roottree mania. Where did we leave off? Because it's been 5 days. Where were we? We're putting together this family tree. Okay. We had Miracle with 2 sons. We haven't figured out Crocodile Clementine. That's right, Crocodile Clementine. Elias Roottree had an affair. We haven't even touched that one yet. Guy Hudson, who had 5 affairs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bastard children, and this one's been sorted out. Okay. Somebody needed to get control of Guy Hudson. Where do we start? We're at 12 out of 8. Or we're at 12 out of 20. Where would we even figure out Elias? He did love his secretaries a lot. Yeah, it was kind of a thing for him, I guess. Man loved a secretary. Alright, we have nothing to go on for these ones. Did he have, like, was he... He was married, but no children with his actual spouse. Did I see the year range on Guy? 75 to 82. In 7 years? He had 5 affairs in 7 years? And 7 children? Okay, wait. One of these is not... Okay. One of these is a child. Okay, I'll give him that. Actually, wait, no. They both could be. There's no way to know. He was yeah, 7 years, 5 different secretaries. This guy was fucking out of control. Out of control. We have to figure out this. I have not even touched this yet. And then we have Crocodile Clementine we haven't figured out yet. He has a spouse. And children. So where were we in our notes then? That's the thing about taking, like, a couple days off, is I come back to this and I'm like, oh, fuck if I remember what I was doing. Alright, let's see. Elias. Sam says her son Ernie asked her who's Beth because she overheard him yelling about someone. Elizabeth, different Elizabeth from the supervisor at the farm. Christine Garland responded, she and her husband Steve, who is chef... Wow. Let's see, what do we have in our periodicals? You would have accepted it. We were looking for a periodical for one of the cities. Pittsburgh, maybe? We were trying to find a Pittsburgh periodical, I think. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, I like that it does tell me the numbers of clues still and stuff up on the side there, so... Sam's book has a few different passages. This game is gonna kill my voice. Hello, Mayuna. You're back? You left for 2 seconds and now you're back, huh? It's like I start talking and she thinks like, oh yes, this is about me? This is me actually? Yeah? Mao? Hello. Okay, Sam's book has a few different passages about her own history with the company and rumors of gossip she collected during that tenure. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm talking, but not to her, so here she comes. You cannot. She's mine. Most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president. Okay, we know about that. Okay, so one of Sam's farm supervisors named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but worked as one of Guy's secretaries. Okay, we figured this one out. We did figure this one out. We haven't found a picture of her yet, though. Guy's main positive contribution to the company involved expanding to markets previously untapped by roottree. However, not yet. It may come back up. I still have to find her picture, so I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna delete it till after we have her picture. Guy was known for spending more time and money on unofficial business than we. With distributors and manufacturers, it was said that he bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. Alright, there's also a section where Sam speculates that Elias may have tweeted. He may have tweeted. He cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was always much kinder to Sam. Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth. So... we have to dig up more on Elias roottree. Bow, 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 bow. Let's see. Maple Farm. We did check this one already. Website's not up, so. Tickets. We did read this page. Oh, this is the same page. Okay. Did we check Gwyneth roottree? Oh. This one's old. It's new. Yeah, we read it last time we were playing. Is the thing? We checked it already. It's old. Nothing relevant. Nothing relevant. What can we search? What can we search to find her? How can we find his secretary? Many records, 1975. Oh wait, what's this? She's in staff, and then she's office staff, Elizabeth Cravensworth. And then does she like retire in the next year maybe? Dun, 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 dun. Edward Roottree, Elizabeth Cravensworth, and Lloyd Carpenter are no longer employed by Roottree. In 1979. Let's check her. Let's check on her. No. Nope. Nope. Alright, well that was worth a guess. What if I search just Cravensworth? Hmm. Raffertoons is listed as office staff. What is... This Raffertoon site once had a photo of Clark on it, no longer exists. Instead, it redirects to a site with a telephone number called 1010-250, which frustratingly keeps popping up advertisements every new... 1010-250, which frustratingly keeps popping up advertisements in new windows every few seconds, and you manage to close them, but it sure is annoying. What's this? 1010-250 is apparently a phone number you can dial for making long-distance call to receive a discount from the telephone company. For the past few months, you've been inundated with ads for it and other services like it, and that includes TV spots starring celebrities, radio commercials, parodies of popular songs, and banner ads for it on many different websites. It doesn't seem to be relevant to your search. The Raffertoons domain was likely purchased by a third party when the license expired. RIP. That was worth a check. Lloyd Carpenter, Edward Roottree. Have we checked on him in a little bit? Who is Ed? Unit, get your ass out of here! Move your butt. Roottree. Nope. Beatrice Watts, Corinne Schwartz, Lisa Lewis, Valerie Ewing. Like, honestly, all of these secretaries could be potential people. I don't know if I should just start searching their names at random. Oh, wrong one. Come here. Getting hard to do shit now because you're gonna sitting on my fucking hand. This fucking cat, I swear to God. Okay. Albert Cross, Fred Cross. Did we look for Lloyd? No. Yeah, well the thing is, it does warn, I think like on the first page, there are many laborers on the farm, and factors not listed. You're not sure how helpful it will be except for cross-referencing guys, secretaries, and visits overseas. Spider-searching people just because they're listed in these books will likely be very time-consuming and a waste of your time. So, we cross-reference from lists from overseas. I don't know if I have like a... Let's check Guy Hudson again. A few people that existed adjacent to the company in the 70s have come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse to, and they often got very out of hand. This has led to some people to speculate that the night he died in a car crash, he was drunk or impaired in some way, but the Butler County Police have released multiple statements and ample evidence that proves decisively that this was not foul play. There was no party had taken place. So we gotta figure out, because he likes to take trips. We haven't seen anything about any trips yet, I don't think. This has 2 clues in it somewhere. Did we search for the police? Let me check Clans of Trust. Butler County Police. Okay, you one sec. I don't know if I searched this one since we got the new game going. Scrutiny. Sam's book revealed to the public. Didn't go over well. Blah, 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 blah. No. Okay. Let's see Butler. County Police. It linked me to Guy Hudson's page again. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. I mean, we can just pop another hint on and see where it takes us. Cicely Sanchez wrote an article about Guy Hudson that sounds useful. Who's Cicely Sanchez? Who's Cicely? Oh, we have looked this up already, I guess. It's been less than a week and I've forgotten everything. We have searched Piketty, yeah. Where is this? What is this under? This is under Ruby. Ruby grew up in foster care. Ruby Spratt and her company, Ruby Legal Enterprises. Recently in the news due to a high-profile lawsuit raised against Cicely Sanchez. Sanchez is an author of A Portrait of a Changed Man, released in 1979. Her follow-up, Foreign Gospel. Cicely appeared in a magazine called Piketty with an article she wrote about that. Oh, right, that's this one. Okay. Did we try? We did try Piketty. Yeah. It comes up with Piketty magazine? That's... fuck off. I remember trying Piketty over and over and over again, and it wasn't working. You did help. Piketty magazine is a publication that, as far as you can tell, has no consistent theme. It tends to contain tabloid-esque articles that can appeal to a wider variety of audiences and appears in many grocery stores near the checkout line. Unlike traditional tabloids, it doesn't typically feature celebrities on the cover. Instead, it tends to latch onto and create sensationalist headlines about whatever subject appears to be popular at any given time. In recent years, this has included Beanie Babies, Magic Eye Images, and Red Bull. It often has come under fire for printing fiction along with facts. Piketty gets around this by stating in every issue of its articles are all hearsay that's fit to print. At one point, Piketty ran an article about Cicely Sanchez, an author. She claims to have written an unread book about Guy Hudson. The article was not even the main focus of the issue, and yet the magazine was threatened legally by the Roottree Corporation. In this particular issue, the Big Sass Seabass issue was pulled from the shelves. Okay, so this is... become a collector's item, especially amongst conspiracy theorists. So let's search this. Actually, wait, did it go into the periodicals? Piketty. Yes. An issue that's focused on the talking toy fish and the demonic messages it supposedly said as the batteries ran low. Piketty had an article about a cancelled Guy Hudson book by Cicely Sanchez. The issue is said to contain pictures that Cicely did not have the rights to publish. Because of the pictures, the issue was pulled from store shelves, making it the subject of some conspiracies and an instant collector's item. Due to the recall, the version found in this archives is incomplete. Basselbub. Could this popular gift be filling homes with satanic messages? Basselbub. Let me take his picture? No? Okay. This is the issue of Piketty magazine. Exactly. Yes. The story concerned an unreleased book she had written about Guy Hudson. Okay, so let's go back to Guy. We'll put our notes in Guy. You want one? Hell yeah. It seems that it used photos of Guy that Cicely did not own the rights to publish. Unfortunately, the magazine was issued a cease and desist by Roottree's lawyers. The magazine was pulled from the shelves, and the version you found in your periodical search had the relevant pages removed, rendering this magazine useless unless you want to read about a potential demonic fish toy. Well, I do. That's it? That's all we get? There's a bunch of evidence on this anyway, though. The utensil that will help you lose 50 pounds. Exclusive. Cicely Chances reveals roottree secrets. Basil Bub. Let's do 1999. That would have been, if that had like just pulled up the in the periodical. No, that's true. Nope. There's a lot of hints in this, but it doesn't. Guy in the periodical? Yeah. Nope. What else can we look in here while we're here? No. Oh, Ruby. What was her name? Ruby? Ruby. Sprat. Search the dates? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. June 99. Notable events. No. Piketty. Secrets? Team Blast. Yeah, this is old. That's for his accident. I mean, we can ask the ducky again. All-knowing duck. It attracted conspiracy theorists. Conspiracy theories. Oh, this is new. During her initial search, she came across Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page about the root trees. 8 months later, the page still exists and is thriving. The counter reached 7 digits. Many older articles have been replaced. It seems that in a recent uprising in root tree news has left Thomas Overwood with a constant stream of events to base new theories on. More than one of his theories involve root tree deaths being faked, according to Overwood. Statistically, when you have this many high-profile people in a family, the odds are that just one of them faked their death. It's just math. The newfound focus on death faking seems to coincide with a post mentioning that he's begun believing the guy's not dead theory. In his own words, my eyes have been opened. All this is beginning to make too much sense. On his own post, he details that Ron Roottree is still in charge, Gwyn Roottree's death was faked, and that Clark is only there to throw people off. Apparently, this allowed Ron to travel to France to develop the new candy recipe in secret. Another is about the rapper 5Bs. He can't possibly be a Roottree. One of his first album songs, when he was performing under the devil... when he was performing under the devil name, actually mentioned that he wanted to have sex with Raina. What? Oh yeah, it was like Davy... No, was it like Dirty Davy or something? I don't know, whatever. Families. Well, at the time, he didn't know. Not even Sam Madsen is spared. According to Overwood, the author of Six Pieces isn't real. Sam Madsen is an anagram for Am Madness. They're purposely leaving hints for us. He claims that by using the Six Pieces with Lauren Rootree's book as a one-time pad, he has begun to decrypt a cipher. Most of the cipher has seemed meaningless, but he managed to pick out the words people and vastness and is working on figuring out what it means. There's also a request at the bottom. Next year, 2000, is a leap year, and Overwood is looking for funds and volunteers to catch the Roottrees red-handed in Operation RT-29. He specifically mentions not to volunteer if you've ever drunk Spirit Cola, but doesn't go into why. What's this? What's this? Conspiracy theory website. Some people are out there claiming the Roottrees are changing Canada recipe to include more chemicals. We did read this one before, I think. They claim that due to a loophole in the calendar, it's possible to get away with any crime on a leap day as long as it isn't discovered until after the day is over. Oh, so it's like the Purge. Every 4 years on a leap year, the Roottree Candy Company hosts a meeting with foreign agents to conspire to poison our children. There's proof that the Roottree candies contain polyglycerol polyricinol. I remember trying to pronounce this word last time we found this article. Okay. What's the guy's not dead theory? The guy's we got some. Oh, we got the Piketty article. The guy's not dead conspiracy stems from a website that focuses on clues that the Roottrees have supposedly hid all over the place. This includes candy wrappers, print advertisements, television commercials, and jingles. The story, according to the website, is that Guy Hudson was a terrible president of the Roottree Company and introduced multiple failed products. Something needed to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favor of consumers. So they killed off Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight, and some people even theorized that he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise, which is why he stopped appearing in public. People who run the site are asking for help. They're certain that there's a clue to all of the... They're certain that there's a clue to all of this that accidentally leaked in a banned article about in the magazine Piketty. On their page is a scan of the magazine's cover, the interview with Cicely Sanchez about Guy Hudson, and some photos. You can add them to your evidence. We got it. Okay. This is an interview with Cicely Sanchez, an author. She was hired to write a book about Guy Hudson. Hello, Mayuna. You're back. You claim to have been paid a significant amount to write a book about one of the Roottrees, Guy Hudson. He was president for a short period at the end of 1970, right? Yeah, I met him on New Year's Eve, actually. The last night of 1980. Okay. I'm gonna put these notes. Bum, 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 bum. No, not in Ruby. We'll just make a new page for Cicely. Yeah. Okay. I met him on New Year's Eve, the night of 1978. I was just coming off of Changed Man and looking for my next project. When his wife learned who I was, she invited me to the party and they cornered me to talk about a book. That was the first time anyone recognized me from work. I had finally made it. The book they asked me to write sounded great, but then none of the stuff that made him interesting was allowed to stay. Chop, chop, snip, snip, anything with even the slightest threat to Guy's image ended up gonzo. What was the stuff that made him interesting? At his core, Guy was not complicated. In fact, I think I could boil him down to two traits. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias Roottree. And second, he'd never be satisfied living the life needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and good looks, but he really liked to exploit that to pick up women. He couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover it up. The only interesting aspect of Guy, he was James Bond trying to convince people he was Mr. Rogers, I guess. Mr. Rogers, really? Maybe that's not the best metaphor, but Elias Roottree was boring as all hell and all about family. Guy did everything he could to be seen that way. After I submitted my first draft, he sent me this garbage book, The Roottree Legacy, with Elias on the cover. Oh. Do we have that one already? We'll save it. The last time he and I met, he had even switched out his orange suits for the same green ones Elias wore. And remember fancy flavors? Guy knew that part of Elias's legacy was the 5-piece flavors, so that's what Guy tried to do. Caviar was a disaster here, but it was actually somewhat popular in Brazil for some reason. In Christmas 1979, he went to Brazil to open the Roottree factory, the Roottree Brazil factory. Guy was always hopping around the world trying to recreate that success. So how come the book never came out? It's complicated. I had an out in my contract. Surprisingly, Guy signed the contract my lawyers wrote without running it by anyone in his legal department. I could pull out my name off the book at any time, but Guy still got the content. After I left, it probably got a lot harder to convince any real publisher to give it their time. Yes, we'll search for that factory. Next page. He was president, right? Do you know why he never released it himself? If I had to guess, his family very wisely put a stop to it. Mid-1981, months after I had already moved on, he called me back to show me a final draft. You know how expensive it is to publish one copy of a book? It had my name on it in big, shiny, embossed letters. Like all problems in his life, throwing money at me was his attempt to win me back, but it had half of the page count and the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good, imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of mortgage. Explosive. Yeah, Brazil has come up a couple times. We got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress Susie something into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl, I remembered her from our trip overseas. She was too good for him anyway after she died. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last it ever came up. Susie is probably his final affair. What can you tell us about the family? Any insights into the scandals from the recent book by Sam Madsen? She is in the company list. She is. I actually haven't read it. I just skimmed the sections on Guy to see why people were suddenly calling me up to ask about the man. I'd say she did well for what she had to work with. Oh, Sam. She had rumors where I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he didn't. Sometimes he knew. Sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottree Brazil, but I actually had people on him. He went to Australia, France, and China too. When he met with someone, I figured out who they were and how they were involved. Doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Despite his best efforts, I got the whole truth, including things even his family never knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, I think her name was Robin, he and she definitely spent a few nights together that he didn't want the family to know about, but I did. This is big money information in this one. Sam mentions Guy's affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them, like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his wife first approached me, though, it wasn't a talk, if you get my meaning. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial arrangement. They both got what they wanted, the same thing. What was that? I'm assuming I only have to spell it out so you can get it in writing for your readers. Women. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more acceptable. I'd told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. I later found out that if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had to be there too. Guy, on the other hand, was seen in a traditional marriage. At the same time, could bet any woman that found him charming. Ah, I see. Okay, so it was an okay. It wasn't. It was allowed. He was not cheating. That's fair. Open marriage. Yes, that's the word. I was looking for the word. I can assure you that that was exactly the type of marriage he was interested in. Alright, so. Still a little scummy. Don't fuck your secretaries. Who's that? Cicely There's guy. Who are you? That's gotta be one of his secretaries. That's maybe Susie. First, Cicely Sanchez Piketty issued of Piketty magazine said it was pulled from the shelves. You can manage to find it online. Piketty does not label its individual photos. Both the photos were instead under the shared label. Cicely was provided these photos by the roottree company for use in her book. In the background of the photo, there is a Christmas tree. That's a clue. Where's the other one? Boop, boop, boop. I can't steal that picture of Elias. This is one of the brothers. Okay, those are pictures of Guy. Let's get these out of the way. Bloop. And then where are you? Right here. Bloop. Oh yeah, you can go here. That's Crocodile. I believe that's Crocodile Clementine. So then, let's see. We got a bunch of clues out of that one, actually. Let's check the Brazil root tree. Check root tree. Brazil. Root tree Brazil, sometimes erroneously referred to as... Wait. Oh. I see. I did that wrong. Is one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute root tree candy. It was developed as part of the Root Tree Everywhere initiative in the beginning of 1979. Unlike some of the other Root Trees Everywhere results, Root Tree Brazil seems to be a success. You do some rough translating and find a significant amount of information about it. Brazil was the only region in which the caviar 5 pieces, released at the end of 78. Root Tree Everywhere? Yes, true. We'll check that after. Primary reason that factory still exists to this day is solely to create that flavor, which comes as in its own standalone 5 pieces bag with Portuguese writing. Small town named Avalgos, near the municipality of São Bernardo do Campo, became the location chosen by the Root Tree Candy Company after a newly elected local politician named... Oh, okay, there's so much information in this one. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Root Tree Everywhere initiative near the beginning of 1979. Alvalagos? Nah, okay. I like this. We will take Edson Suarez. Oh yeah, we're in the dirt now. We are digging in the dirt with our grubby little hands. You know, come on. Move. Fucking get off. The factory was controversial as locals did not want it there. The Root Trees visited Brazil around Christmas. Christmas keeps coming up, so... and managed to break ground on the project. Since then, however, it's been operating relatively smoothly, except for 2 incidents. The first was Incendio de Bordeaux in 1982, and the second was an unsuccessful strike in 1995. Yes. Yeah, that might be him. The factory was originally built and run, according to paperwork at the time, by a company called New Brazil Candy Corporation. Company no longer exists, but not much information has ever existed about it, and the Root Trees now run Root Tree Brazil entirely. Okay. So, let's see. Let's do this first. Let's do Avalgos. São Bernardo do Campo is a real place in Brazil. A game designer by the name of Jeremy Johnson looked up cities in Brazil that had a lot of manufacturing so that he could place a fictional story there. A fictional factory. He did not want to offend any Brazilians with the tale he was writing that involved corruption and politics, so the small town he made up, Alvalagos, where the factory was located, was invented by mixing 2 other regions, Interlagos and Alvarenga. Wow! Very good. Yes. Alright, let's look up Edson. Search. Brazilian politician, you find a dissertation published by a college student as part of their PhD in history. It focuses on the rise of democracy in Brazil. It seems up to 1988, Brazil was run by the military, and the politics there during that time were a hotbed of corruption and nepotism. The paper tells of a few politicians at the time, including Edson Soares. Edson is a former mayor of Alvalagos, Brazil. Before politics, he was a manager at at an automotive manufacturing plant for a major American car company. He was put in charge of Alvalagos by the military government in 1973. As mayor, he used his manufacturing background and knowledge of American business to establish new factories, distribution plants, and other business ventures in the area. This has two side effects. First, he became rich. Second, many locals were forcibly relocated. This did not make him a popular mayor. In what the paper speculates was a move to counteract his unpopularity, his wife Sonia was discreetly put in charge of a television station called Telerede. He often used this connection to ensure his supporters would appear on local television spreading his beliefs and emphasizing his political victories. He remained in office until 1988 when he was defeated in the first election after the military government was no longer in control. After this election lost, he quickly left the town behind. It is not known where he's gone. But the dissertation speculates he likely fled to stay alive. Let's check this. Is a former television station in Brazil. It came into being in 1970 after a vacuum that was created due to the removal of a different network at the hands of a Brazilian military dictatorship. Due to a lack of resources online, you don't have much to go on about who ran it and when. Sonia. Spider Search does return a page that lists a news anchor in Brazil named Flavio Soares, who had a mother named... Oh, we're getting somewhere. Flavio Soares is a young Brazilian newscaster with a bit of a cult following. The discourse surrounding him is to put in polite terms lewd. There's a website about him about something called fanfiction. There's a website about something called fanfiction that has a small section dedicated to him. It seems that women and some men of a wide variety of ages and writing skill tend to find him worthy of inclusion in their stories. You skim some of the tales there and learn that a common thread is he's currently dating a supermodel named Ashley York. Many stories seem to either ignore her existence or get her out of the picture rather quickly. There are also more traditional fan sites that list some of his favorite things, including his age, 18, his zodiac sign, Libra, his favorite food, grilled steak, his mother's name, Sonia, and it seems that Flavio translates to golden-haired. One website with a signed publicity photo of Flavio seems to confirm this. Okay. I'll take all this, and I'll take Ashley York. A British supermodel who does ads for perfume, clothing, and jewelry. She has been the subject of some controversy over the last few months, being protested by PETA for wearing fur on the cover of some magazines. She's dating a young Brazilian news anchor named Flavio Soares, who's brought them into the limelight. Okay. Where'd it go? Here it is. Boop. Okay. So if he's here, he's gotta be in here somewhere. Probably one of these two. When was the trip to Brazil? Hang on, let's go back in here. Bum, bum, bum. Butterscotch, travel expenses, 1979, 81, 82. 79. Final affair was... Okay, this is after... Okay, this is after Ernest takes over. So this is the last page for Guy. Susan Ford is probably Susie. Oh shit, and Susie became the sign language person. Okay. I see. Okay. Yes, Susan Ford was. Remember, they said that he had his final affair before he, or he's had. She came up as an affair. It doesn't say this final affair, but it said he died shortly after she met his affair partner. So this is probably Susie Ford. Yes, we have. I've tried to search her a bunch of times. This is the Grandorf Dove. Miss Ford is fluent in 5 languages. Mentioned she's not deaf. Rather learn sign language to communicate with the deaf. She secured funding for the Hudson Wing, which is Guy Hudson. I think this might be... What was her name? Brazil. It was... Flores. What was her name? Sonia. Actor. News anchor. What's his name? Edson. Was probably these two. So you and you. And then what did she do? She was... The one in the back is Susan. Possibly. Possibly. Did I search Sonia? I did. And all it does is tell me to search Flavio. You know what? Let's look at, was it Starlet? Teen Blast. Aha! Ashley York, a British model, appeared on the cover of Teen Blast wearing a fur shawl 3 months ago. His appearance doesn't lead to any useful information, but a more recent appearance in the text only mentions he's dating Flavio Suarez. In it, a Teen Blast reporter asked how they met. I was in Rio for a carnival, and he was on one of the parade floats. I had no idea who he was, but I liked what I saw, and I told my people to invite him to the party I was going to. Felt pretty stupid once I realized that we were going to his party. Well, his mother's party. She runs a media empire called Transmisa. Okay. So she runs a media mogul. There we go. Perfect. A massive media group owned and run by a mysterious woman named Sonia Alves. It seems that Sonia Alves is a common name in Brazil, so she has shortened her name to Nia to stand out in the public eye. According to a history page that focused on her company and vague search on search and according to a history page that's focused on her company and vague on searchable details, Nia received a significant inheritance in 1980 and invested it in many different manufacturing businesses in her hometown in Brazil. At the same time, she we do need, yeah, we'll do. I knew I was gonna need to change it to her maiden name, so it's probably Alves. She had begun to learn the in and outs of running a television network. She continued to work in television until 1988 when Brazil began its period of reform. She felt this was the perfect opportunity to launch her own media company using her investment and connections. Now her company owns a television network, magazines, newspapers, and advertising firms. After doing some translating, the page lists Nia as unmarried. It does not go into any other relationship history. Searching for Nia online, you find that she stays out of the spotlight. She doesn't even appear in shareholder meetings. She sends a proxy. Okay, so Alves. Okay, we'll try that. There's 1, 2. We need a photo of Christine Farrow. We did find more stuff to search in here, though. What's this? Incendio de Bordeaux translates to the maple fire. In 1982, the factory was deliberately attacked in a case of clear arson. Fire was brought under control after destroying about 2/3 of the production floor, and locals claimed the air smelled like a mix of burning plastic and maple syrup. The factory was rebuilt and continues production until this day. At this time, it is unknown why this happened, but last year, a news special did list this incident, as well as a few others in the small town, as backlash to perceived corruption in the government at the time. According to the report, the mayor of the city was found to be receiving a cut of the factory's profits. There was a book somewhere. Where did we find that? The Roottree Legacy. The Family Man, The Roottree Legacy by Bess Williams is a very poorly received book about Elias Roottree. There are very few copies of the original published in 1920. It was recently republished by the same publishing company that printed Lauren's Diary for Schools. They wish to capitalize on Roottree mania. Okay. By Bess Williams. I have to do the whole stupid name. Oh, well, we did search this one already, I think. Blatant corporate propaganda. Okay. What's next? Need more about Ford Susan. What were we gonna look up? Oh, the, daughter of his business partner in Australia. Her name was Robin. His mistress Susie something. Okay. So let's search for... What was the name of the everywhere and... Okay. Search. Roottree Everywhere was an expansion in the late 1970s. It coincided with some other large changes at the company and had mixed success. As far as you can tell, the different companies related to it were all formed in very different, sometimes haphazard ways. There is minimal organized information about the history of the expansion online, but you can glean the following. Roottree candy had been distributed globally to certain markets, approved by Elias as early as 1940. This includes places like Canada, Mexico, and select countries in Europe, mostly the UK. Roottree Everywhere was involved in Roottree's expansion to the other major markets that were assessed to be ready for Roottree. It started with 4 it had no share in: Australia, Brazil, China, and France. Each of the companies had an entirely new company formed mostly by making deals with local distributors and manufacturers. Okay. Highlight these. We're gonna check Roottree Aus, because it said Australia. One of the companies created Everywhere Initiative 1979. Okay, we'll make a new page for this. Hang on. Charles Martin owned the company that manufactured licorice in Australia, was tapped to run the Roottree factory. So Robin Martin. Charles Martin was a candy manufacturer in Australia, born in 1923. He had a popular brand of licorice called Martin's Licorice Bullets. However, his history is unrelated to the Roottrees. In 1979, he helped develop Roottree Australia. He used his own wealth to build a new factory, and they distributed the maple treats through the same methods he had been using for the previous candy venture. A website about Australian commerce mentioned that he had a very unusual business agreement with the main Roottree company in the US, much like how the Clancy Trust distributed the profits from the Roottree company evenly to the Roottree family. The profits of the Roottree Australia would be split 50-50 between the American company and Martin himself, to do with what he wishes. This made Martin very, very wealthy, also led to many cost-cutting measures meant to increase profits as much as possible, especially towards the end of Martin's life. In the early 1990s, Roottree candy gained a poor reputation in Australia, and sales suffered immensely. Charles' vast fortune was passed along to his daughter, Robin Martin, who sold the business at the first opportunity. Oh. Search it! Search it! Robin Martin is featured in the top 100 wealthiest women in the world. We found her. She owns a private island off the coast of Australia where she reportedly has her own exclusive retreat. She has no husband. There was a widely circulated rumor somewhere in the mid-70s that she had a medical procedure to ensure she would never have children. You find a joke on a website called Edgy Jokes that implies she's quite promiscuous and has a punchline involving Robin's eggs. For what it's worth, Martin seems to lean into the rumors. In the 80s, she once showed up to a charity function with 3 very attractive men, each wearing a shirt that said simply "Satisfied Partner" on it. Incredible. Okay. Let's check this. No. Wait, Robin can't have children. That's right! She can't have children, so it doesn't matter. Unless she had a kid before and said true. But she had a procedure in the 70s. When was the trip to Australia? Okay, she did go in late 70s. So it's not completely off the table, but that might be a red herring. Yeah. So she's probably a red herring. Nope. Yeah, same brain. So let's go actually back. Because these might have, yeah. See, same brain. China Roottree is one of the companies created to manufacture and just. Okay, let's do. China. And the other one was France. Bum, bum, bum. Lang Hongbo was said to personally win over the roottree family, was the owner of multiple textile factories. Did not wish to import the ingredients, built a special factory to manufacture the candy in China. Here. There. Hongbo, who was already in his mid-50s when the deal happened, only had his daughters, and his brother Lang Hongyu took control upon his death in 1986. Okay. Who's Lang Jinyu? The printer going is good. In China, the family name comes first, so Lang is her last name. It's a businesswoman currently running the Lang Tai Textile Company. We found her. When the printer starts going, you know you found something. She was recently listed in an article on a website written by and for women. The article, titled Empowered, is about the recent rise of women entrepreneurs in China. Whoops. The article states that due to her lack of brothers, she has a younger sister. She took over as CEO in 1992. After her elderly uncle was deemed unfit to run the company due to mental deterioration. This was apparently an extremely controversial move amongst the family's employees, and after some of them, the article doesn't state how many, quit and wrote a letter stating that she must have coerced him in his vulnerable state. The company is performing well. Her nephew, who is her second in his command, is expected to take over after she retires. Maybe he's the son. yeah, women in charge? Never. Someone has proven they can do something well, they can do it 100 times well. An unproven leader could doom us all. Also offhandedly mentions that Zinyu was an early adopter of IVF and helped her sister have a child. She had a baby with Guy Hudson and then gave it to her daughter. Okay. Let's go back. Give me that picture. Give me the picture. Oh, what's her name? I've already forgotten. Lang Jinyu. So family name Lang. They did that to throw us off. Family name Lang. Jin Yu. And then her nephew would be her son. Copy. She would be what, CEO? What's the difference between CEO and president? I don't know if she would be in Business Watch. Oh! She was in Business Watch. She was featured in Business Watch in 1992, missed out on Watchman of the Year, but did have a pretty sizable article that mentioned some of her history. Born in 47, first of two children, her mother was already in her 30s when she had her and had trouble conceiving a second time until 3 years later. This was Zinyu's sister. It became clear that her father was not going to have a son to pass the family down. That's how she became involved. Business passed to a male sibling, a younger brother. She ran the company as her uncle's consultant. Gotta find the name of her son. nephew. Oh, I should look up her sibling, right? Actually, let's look up Lang Tai first. Company is very accomplished. Lang Hongbo in China, the family name comes first, so Lang is his last name. I like how they keep repeating that, so I don't get it wrong on the tree every time. Light doesn't list her last name. She does appear in the family tree below Hongbo. Did we search her dad? No. Lang Tai was mentioned in Business Watch. When you sort through the oldest articles, however, the earliest one mentions from October 1979 stands out as very unusual because it doesn't involve Lang Tai's business. The article details a new, at the time, medical industry. In vitro fertilization was brand new, barely a year old. After the first successful IVF birth in 1978, it seemed that the industry began to grow and featured an article about different companies all over the world and what costs they would go to and what costs they would charge for their service in Business Watch. This included a few cases of high-profile customers willing to pay a premium. Apparently at the time, the CEO of Lang Tai was Lang Hongbo and his younger daughter, Lang Xinyao, and her husband could not have children, so in their attempt to create a suitable heir, he paid Q genes to have a child implanted in his older daughter, who was unmarried. His younger daughter... We'll check her now. Piece of Asia is the American arm of Lang Tai, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We gotta find a Pittsburgh periodical, I think. I think we're still missing that. Yeah, we found Portland, but we gotta find Pittsburgh. According to the site, the Tai in Lang Tai translates to peaceful, so they chose a name in America to match. There are a lot of other companies listed here, too many to investigate, as very few of them seem to have any relevance. It seems Piece of Asia is nearly as established as Lang Tai. Try searching Pitts? I will. I'll try searching Pittsburgh. They offer fabrics and cloths at wholesale prices. You don't spot anything out of the ordinary. Business is said to be owned by the husband and wife, Jerry and Linda Han. Highlights. The Chinese names are listed too. Han Junwei and Linda... Ah, we found her. Okay, so let's check Jerry and Linda Han. Jerry, Linda, and Mark Han. Haha. We found him. Mark. Write this down before I forget. Mark Han. Chosen because they donate significantly to causes that further Chinese American culture. Jerry and Linda were both born in China and found love during college. Linda's father approved their marriage as long as Jerry took over the US portion of the business. Linda jokes that the entire situation is like something out of an Alanis Morissette song. How ironic it all ended up. I was terrified to move to the States, but my big sister was desperately in love with the idea. She used to have this Butch Cassidy poster on her wall and was obsessed with Robert Redford. Somehow Jerry and I were the ones sent here, and now we couldn't possibly imagine going back. When we had Mark, we never even considered giving him a traditional name. Meanwhile, my sister stayed in China and has thrived there. She doesn't even like visiting the US anymore. Our kids are the complete opposite, though. Oh, kids, multiple. Okay. Mark couldn't wait to travel abroad as soon as he's old enough. Actually, he's in business school in China now with my sister. Our niece, who grew up there, was the opposite. She couldn't wait to get here. She started calling herself Lucy Lang. Fuck. So, she did have a kid. Mark is the red herring. Fuck! He got us. He fucking got... We fell right into that one. God damn it. Not the most uncommon you've come across either. There are a few that come up with any searchable details. Might be possible to narrow it down. Lucy Lang is mentioned on the robotics website as part of Team Talonclaw. Team Talonclaw are one of 2 teams for the US participating in a new robot-based show in the UK. Another Lucy Lang is part of a small women's a cappella group in Los Angeles called Gin and Tonics. Third, Lucy Lang works in New York for business called Corporate Synergenic Solutions Unlimited. What did it say? This is school, China. Niece grew up there is the opposite. She couldn't wait to get here, so okay. Which one do we think it's gonna be? Check Team Talonclaw first. Robotics in Mid-Eastern University. The robot named Talonclaw has been selected for an appearance on the 2nd season of a British television show that focused on robot fighting. New York. Could be wrong. Let's check. Corporate Synergenic Solutions Unlimited. Well, because she said he was the total opposite of Mark, right? So... Lead Synergy Engineer, who's listed as being ranked one of the top facilitators in the world by Business Watch magazine. Oh, it could be this one. It could be this one. Search periodical. Lucy Lang. Lucy Lang was listed in Business Watch for her work with Corporate Synergenic Solutions Unlimited. She's an article about how consultants that corporations hire to facilitate... Okay. Each person featured in the article has a small bio section followed by a longer section of why they were chosen. Lucy's bio section mentioned she grew up in a small town... Okay. Whoop. Wrong button. Arkansas. Not this one. This one's from Arkansas. Lucy Lang, Gin and Tonics? Yeah, we'll check this one next. Los Angeles, Lucy Lang is listed as soprano. There doesn't seem to be as much else about her other than her name when she performs a soloist in a song called Like the Wind. Subways of Your Mind by Fex is an early 1980s pop song, and it was a #1 hit in many countries, so it peaked at number 6 in the US. It is still played on contemporary stations around the blah 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 blah. This one. One reviewer is quoted as something. This is not. Due to Subways of the Mind famously starting with the catchy opening phrase, like the wind, and perhaps due to its somewhat lengthy title, those seeking it out or often requesting it often search for like the wind. Many lyric sites and music hosting sites even label it incorrect and making this When searching for combinations of like the wind and attempting to narrow it down, the results that include the root trees, you find that an obscure Irish band called You find an obscure Irish band called U2 once cited by both Fex and Jim at the Diamond. Often cited both Fex and Jim and Diamond as inspirations. As far as you can tell, neither Fex nor Subways has anything to do with your search, and seeing U2 is relatively unknown to anyone outside of Dublin. The connection seems to be an odd coincidence. BOCA? BOCA stands for Best of College A Cappella. It has existed since 1995. It's a compilation of various a cappella music groups. Maybe something. Okay. So it might be this Lucy Lang? Team Talonclaw. Mid-Eastern University. Seems like it used to be to announce the schedule of its members. Club is supposed to meet every Tuesday, Thursday. The last 8 dates have all been cancelled because a few members of the team are currently in the UK filming. The other date a few weeks back was cancelled for an interview with the school's newspaper. Captain Jaya Patel, Lucy Lang, and Kurt Hauser. So let's check Mid-Eastern University. Mascot the Spectres, though they're not known for their sports program as much as their education, legal and language departments are their pride and joy. Haven't quite reached the notoriety of Ivy League, some do refer to it as Little Ivy. Heralded? Got it. Haha! So let's check Team Talonclaw on the Heralded. Sorry, but the school's robotics. We found her. School's robotics team, Talonclaw, lists 3 students and talks a bit about each of their history, including the interest in robotics. The only one that catches your attention is Lucy Lang. She grew up in China as Min Lang. We found her. Nope. came to the US specifically to attend university. She says that she grew up around factory-scale machines and that she assembled products. So she became obsessed with smaller, more powerful hydraulics as the mechanism. She loves linguistics. One of her hobbies since coming to the States has been collecting accents. In her spare time, she practices not only removing any trace of her native inflection, but also quickly switching between multiple different regional accents. She feels her personal best as a Southern belle, but her favorite is Valley Girl due to its popular culture. Cool. So her name... Fuck, what was her name? She grew up Min Lang. So it would be Min... Mian Wang. She's a student, university. And her picture. We did it. We get in there. We were right. In these pictures too. A+. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're doing so good. So we just have to figure out Susie Ford. We need a picture for Christine Farrow. And then we got to figure out Elias. I don't know what the fuck to do about Elias or Crocodile Clementine. Okay. One at a time. One at a time. One at a time. Let's try to figure out... Oh god, we just need a picture for Pharaoh Christine. Okay, what pictures do we have? Who are you? Hi, Code. How you doing? Guy is easier. Guy is easier. I think Elias is gonna be like the big revelation at the end of the fucking story. Chris Rafferty didn't know who the woman in the photo was. These have been placed. So we're missing this lady, and this lady. Do we have... Okay, so we don't need any pictures of Patricia. There will be no pictures of Patricia. Which means this might actually be Susie here. She's a principal. Okay, let's look up Christine Farrow. Is that right? Is that how it's spelled? Farrow. O-A-H. I appreciate the jazzy soundtrack though, it's very good. Emily Seinfeld, Emily Barnes. Morrison. Susan Ford. Why did they need an interpreter, though? Fired all the office staff. He fired the production management. Elizabeth Farrow was... What does the ducky say? Secretary in Piketty Photo 2 due to the timing of Zach's retirement. There's only one person this could be. Piketty Photo 2. This one, yeah. Is Zach retired? When did Zach retire? '77. It had to be her. Okay, I think that answered our question then, because that's what we were looking for. So then Ford Susan Principal is... Let's go back to Brandorf. Miss Ford. Not Dove. Brandorf Dove. Where is it? Pennsylvania and Ohio. Search Pittsburgh. Oh yeah. Still didn't come up with anything though. We just gotta find the Pittsburgh periodical. Let's check the Hudson Wing. Her husband was deaf. Crocodile Clementine. I thought we have looked at Crocodile Clementine. What was it? Where did I put him? There it is, Crocodile Clementine. Basket Baby. What did it say? Notorious incident. Maybe you can find more information about it somewhere. We did, though. It was in here. Sims and Crocodile. Oh, I actually don't think I've seen this article. The fight between Sims and Crocodile. So this was the principal that he tried to fight, and the principal kicked his ass. Not only did they manage to interview Sims' wife Carla, as well as multiple staff members, but they hunted down Colleen Webb, Mark's ex-wife. Oh, there we go. She and he had met when she worked for an airlines. She worked in a newspaper's airport newsstand. He was a drinker and had wild mood swings. He was charged with the assault of a fellow pilot in 1975, lost his job, they divorced. At the time, she was pregnant with their second daughter. She felt the need to get out of there before things got worse. She left him to move to San Diego to live with her sister and told her oldest that her dad had to fly planes for the army. She raised them both by herself, although she never went through the trouble of changing their names legally. They used the name Webb so nobody would connect them to her ex. Okay, so Crocodile Clementine has 2 daughters. They didn't change their last name, so it'll be Clem and Clem. Colleen Webb. Where did they? San Diego. So where can we look for this then? Oh, Picketsy. I didn't even think about that. Kind of sleazy, so they're not afraid to publish a few details that more reputable sites wouldn't. You look up the Billy Sims incident. They seem to did a report on it. You gain a few useful bits of information that might not be useful. Billy Sims was once arrested for throwing a Molotov cocktail at a company that he found to be testing products on animals. According to paperwork, Crocodile Clementine's bail was paid for by Tostarito Jacobson. It's fairly expensive. Piketty interviewed other students that were at the event to find out if anyone knew anything, and the word going around was that it was Mark Clementine showing up for his daughter Mary graduating that night. Okay. Who the fuck is Tostarito? Okay, hang on. Let's write that down before I forget though. Mary Clementine. Okay. Fuego's Fiesta, a regional Mexican fast food chain, held a competition in 1993 that offered free meals to life for anyone who legally changed their name to Tostarito. Tostarito was a burrito with a cylindrical tostada shell inside the flour tortilla. According to a few different sources, Tostarito Jacobson used to be named Lucinda. Okay. Okay, I think that was a dead end. So it'd be Mary Webb. Mary Webb in San Diego has a website called Web on the Web. Apparently, it's a personal travel diary that also doubles as an advertisement for a travel agency. There are descriptions of Mary's services, including booking flights and cruises. Almost all of them involve extremely niche audiences. It seems Mary is the #1 agent when it comes to booking spiritual vacations aboard ghost ships and in specific hotel rooms that are said to be haunted. She also has a dedicated group for more traditional modern cruises that cater to specific groups such as fans of boy bands. In the diary entry, she talks about the trips she's personally taken and uses that as an opportunity to feature descriptions of amenities and excursions that the ships offer, even when you're on them to see a specific band or ghost. There are also pictures of ships, hotels, landmarks, and places she's visited, as well as a picture of Mary herself with a ship in the background. One of her diary entries actually mentions that the day the photos were taken, she was allowed onto the ship on a port day in San Diego, and a professional photographer she knows. The photo of Mary has been added to your evidence. There's Mary. Blogger. Oh wait, she's like a travel agent. There. Web on the web. Gotta fix my headphones. We're getting close. We're getting there. Let's see. Trips. Okay, so we have to figure out who her sister is. I'm guessing her sister's probably the photographer that took the picture, right? They wouldn't have brought it up if they didn't. The ship in the background. Can we see the... Oh, corporate composition photography. Aha! They wouldn't have put that on there if it wasn't a clue. It seems to be possible to hire them to take professional quality photos for businesses of all sorts. What you can tell people. Val, the former head photographer of corporate composition photography, did a Q&A about users taking their pictures. Val. Val was on the cover of Telephoto. Ah, photography magazine. Very nice. Val does not wish to answer the questions from his photojournalism days, nor does he wish to talk about LBP. LBP. Lebanese pound. lower back pain, lead-based paint, low blood pressure, Louisiana Board of Pharmacy, Long Beach Peninsula, Lynch Building Plastics, luxurious bridal photography, Lexington business payroll, Laura's bras and panties, Logline Books and Publishing, Lincoln Baby. Is it Lincoln Baby Photography? Oh, big guess, big guess. An award-winning photographer. It's business in Beacon, New York. The site has a picture of a baby and a camera captioned Cam Lincoln reaching for his namesake. I guess he takes after his father, Val. Is this... Who is this, though? Who is this? Whose child is this? Oh, maybe it's her... Wait. Ivy! Thank you for the raid! Welcome in, guys! How you doing? Val's husbando? Maybe Val's husbando. Thank you for the raid! If you guys don't know me, I'm Danny. I'm a variety VTuber. Today we're playing the Root Trees Are Dead DLC called Roottree Mania. It's basically like a family tree building search game. What were you guys getting up to? Hi! Welcome in! Thank you for the raid. If you have to raid and run, feel free. I completely respect that. Search for Val at the pictorial? Yes. Telephoto. So Val. We need his name. Oh, Val Lincoln. Okay, so let's go back here. This is probably Cam Lincoln. Slay the Spire, want to spread love to a root tree streamer, voice mysterious lady. Wait! You played wait! What the fuck? That's cool! I love it! I love it so much. We've streamed it a couple times, and I've been loving it. Yes. Well, that's so cool. Thank you for the raid. That's amazing. Here. Occupation baby. Baby. Boop. Okay, hang on, let me hit you with a follow. We did, yes. Well, yes. We had an idea. Yeah. But yeah, I've been obsessed. I've had to skip a couple streams because just stuff's been going on, but you haven't even played Roottree Mania yet? I think I like the first one more. Hey, thank you for the follow. I think I like the first one more, just because like this one feels a little more heavy. Good to know I'm not the only one having a shocked reaction. Yeah, that's incredible. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I was in the middle of saying. I get distracted really easy. My brain just shoots off in different directions. It is more difficult, that is for sure. Which I think is why like the first one was like not better, but like it flowed a little easier. Yeah, my cat Yuna also likes to distract me. It happens. Okay, so I was actually looking for Mary's sister, but we found her husband instead, so that's okay. Who the fuck is... Wait. No, Val's a lady. No, Val's a man. Never mind. Val's a man. It says Val Lincoln, a photographer who went overseas during one CPF photo. Yes, thank you for the raid again. I appreciate it. Also, you did amazing. I love these games a lot too. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the raid. Have a good dinner. He took photography classes. In his own words, he couldn't decide what else to do. That would be okay. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, lucky. Warzone. Oh, this is Lisa Clementine. Ah, we found her. Twofer. Nice. Take this. Lisa. And then be military or soldier? Military. Hell yeah. Okay, so that should be this tree done. And got this one done. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, some of these are wrong. Something's wrong here. Because every 4 gives me a complete. Mary, Val, Lincoln. Christine have a different last name. Maybe? Maybe. Garland. Where did Garland come from? Is it in the folder? Because here's Christine Farrow. Christine Garland has been hired. Let's do... Which one was it? Okay, this is, yes. Antonellis. Christine Garland met her husband Steve. She delivered produce from her mother's farm. Last job, right. Right, so many of them. Grandor for Gina. That's Miracles. Oh, I put these in the wrong one. Whatever. Ruby. Legal. Elias Roottree. Christine Garland. She and her husband Steve, who was a chef. Bum 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 bum. What do they do? Did she become a cook? What did she do? What are their kids' names? James Garland, Robert Garland. Let's go back to them. What's the name of their fucking restaurant? Fried Eye. Robert's mother on a farm. She had to go back to work as a secretary even after Robert was born. So she still was a secretary. Their parents visit Friday. I think she was a secretary. I think that's still her thing. Maybe it's the wrong picture? Maybe the wrong picture. No, it's gotta be. Christine Garland. Back here. Let me right-click search. T. Use time. There. Now let's check this duck. What does the duck say? Okay, so that's what we did have then. Christine Garland was the only secretary. That's what we had. So it is her. But if you knew Lisa Clementine's occupation, you could place her on the tree? I did, though. Do I have to keep looking at her thing? Let's see. Did I jump the gun? She's retired from military? Maybe. Oh, she lost an arm in Operation Desert Saber. Oh, fuck. She's married to Lincoln. See, I knew something wasn't adding up there. Milith. And this would be you. And what was her name? Travel. Was it Mary? Mary Webb. One, two, three. Something's still wrong. So she maybe does have a different job. Let's see. I keep jumping the gun. I should just read it. Won the CB Award for photojournalism. Val was 19 at the time, shot the photo that won him an award the third night he was there. Lisa Clementine, who lost an arm in Operation Desert Saber. According to that article, women were not subject to direct combat, and Lisa was in a vehicle at the time. The vehicle had to pull over, and suddenly, when the roadhead was partially destroyed, she and a fellow soldier were severely injured by a landmine. Okay, so let's check Lisa Clementine. Lisa Webb. I don't know if she's still military. Google this. No. Lisa Lincoln? Try looking up. Okie dokie music. Lisa Lincoln is, according to a military website you find, an amputee who lost a limb in Desert Storm. She runs a support group for fellow veterans in Beacon, New York. She makes another appearance listed as a professor at West Point, a military college. She teaches classes that contribute to their environmental engineering major. Her biography on the staff page mentions she had a passion for the military from a young age due to erroneously believing that a family member was an Air Force pilot. Whoops. Well, she later learned that to be untrue. Her passion remained, and she joined ROTC from high school. From there, she enlisted. She earned a degree and relocated to West Point to teach a few years. So she's a professor. Ha ha! Nice. Okay. Oh. Hey there,
it's us. So I just have to say, the work you're doing here is fantastic.
So fantastic, in fact.
There goes Clark. Always the bad cop. Go ahead.
Well, our law firm, Ruby Legal Enterprises, is having trouble keeping up. They're actually begging us to stop submitting new root trees. They said it's getting difficult to verify your progress.
Well, consider that a good thing. I told Clark you'd get results.
Blame Guy
She says that
Hudson.
like I didn't believe her. Regardless, the bad news is it's going to take 5 potential tree additions before anyone locks in from now on.
Wow.
Good luck.
Wow.
And keep up the good work.
We're almost done though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this one. This is not right. Edison Sterling is incorrect. Picture's right though. Wow. Was it Edson? Oh wait, was his last name? No. No. Yes, my kitty cat. What's the matter? I'm not talking to you. Okay. So we're down to Susan Ford. And then whatever's going on with Elias. So let's see. See what the ducky says, because I don't know what else to do with Susan. Oh, Grandorf Dove in Butler County. Okay. Let's check that. I didn't even think of that. Okay. Where's my notes? Grandorf. Butler County Times Archives includes what seems to be an endless list of snow cancellations, extracurricular activities, and weekend events that began over 70 years ago and stretched until the last mention in 1990. Amongst the avalanche of useless information, you almost miraculously discover that one useful article. Grandorf Dove was at the center of a crime article from 1982. Wait! Someone defaced schools and vehicles outside the brand new Hudson wing of the school. There were multiple broken windows, and one of the teacher's cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. A few weeks later, a follow-up article provides details. There was one arrest, Hugh Thomas, who coincidentally was a former student at the school. A few weeks later, the follow-up article provides more detail. There was, sorry, Yuna's being a fucking pain in my ass. Susan Hughes, yeah, it's gonna be this. This is, we finally found something. Not Ford. Yuna, move your butt. Move a butt. Don't you meow at me. Move a butt. Come on, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Ford is right name? Oh, yeah, Hughes, married name. Job is wrong. Teacher, not principal? I thought she owned the school. Professor. I got professor, not teacher. She was the principal, though. Hang on. The principal, Miss Ford, yeah. Where was I? Thomas Hughes, former student. School's newest teacher, Mrs. Hughes. Oh. She was not a teacher when he graduated a few years earlier. According to the reporter's investigation and the police report's trials and restraining orders, Mr. Hughes was convinced that he was not the father of Mrs. Hughes's current pregnancy. Mr. Hughes, Thomas Hughes, Mrs. Hughes, and the Hudson Wing have avoided further appearances. Okay. His name's Thomas Hughes. I think this is her. So it would be Susan Hughes. Susie Hughes. Not this one. Okay, so it mentions that Susan Ford was married to somebody who was deaf. So that makes sense. Thomas Hughes was a student at the school. She became a secretary. No. No further appearances in. Wait, don't we have a crime? Una? I swear to God. Yes, you. Oh, we had like a crime related. She's a red herring? I think this is Susie Ford, though. 82 would be after Guy died. When did he die? When did he die? He died. Whoops. He died. Where's my... So many tabs. Died in May of 82. And remember, he was having an affair with his final secretary. So I think this tracks. I think this is her. She was pregnant when he died. Yeah. It's weird. I think because it's all kind of out of order. Yes. So she wasn't a secretary. Where did it go? She was a special services interpreter. And she was only there for a year. And she left. No longer, she left in 1980. And she secured funding for the Hudson Wing. Which, obviously, Guy Hudson paid for. Why did they need an interpreter, though? It could still... it could be... Why did they need an interpreter? Nothing in Piketty. Nothing in News Time. Telephoto? Nothing. See what the ducky says. school changed its name. Oh, it did. It was, Grandorf School for the Deaf? Did I check that in the... That's dirty. That's cheap. That's cheap. If this is what gives me a different result. God damn it! Dun 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 dun. March of this year mentions that the Ford sisters... She might be... It might be another red herring. Identical twins! Fuck. The article from March this year mentions that the Ford sisters, who attended public school in Butler County, are one of only a handful of identical twins in the world who suffer from 2 different genetic issues. That's why they needed an interpreter. I'm already jumping the gun. I'm fucking jumping the gun, but I'm betting that one of them was deaf, and that's why they brought in the other one to act as their interpreter. And it turns out he was having an affair with the other one. Yeah, you may be right. She might have been a red herring. A very close red herring. Wait, how many kids are on the chart? Wait, never mind. There's 2 kids on the chart. This might be their kids. Keep jumping the gun. I gotta read it. Read it. Suffer from 2 different genetic issues. One of them has asthma, and the other one has a deadly allergy to peanuts. Their mother, Miss Susie Ford, who is principal at nearby Grandorf. Yeah. I think Susie is the one who had the affair, but the twins are their kids. Principal at nearby Grandorf School. Contacted by researchers looking to identify if there are any sets of twins where one was born deaf and the other one's not. She didn't have any twins attending her school. She asked of her daughters Melissa and Heather. Could be useful, and it turns out they were. She says they couldn't be more different. My youngest, we all call her that even if it's only by 15 minutes, is shy and essentially hasn't stopped running from the moment she learned to scamper. Asthma keeps her sister off the soccer field, but she's the definition of extrovert. Okay. 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 Okay, 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 okay. Picture the girls. We have to... My youngest hasn't stopped running. Her sister has asthma. So this is peanut allergies. And this is asthma. Yes. Go back. Does it say which one is which, though? Is there life after high school? Pull the photo up, it has notes. Oh shit, you're probably right. The left twin is holding an inhaler, the right twin is holding an EpiPen. Didn't really help. Bum, bum, bum. Heather Ford. Heather is the one who was in the musical. Heather was the oldest. Heather Ford. Wait, no. Yes, Ford. Melissa Ford. Students? Students. Actually, wait, they might not be students anymore. Yeah, that's right. Search them? Yes. This is a black and white photo. They might be old now. Heather Ford. Bum 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 bum. Team Blast. Nope. Melissa Ford. 99 was just last year. Oh, you think they're still students? Was that what this says? 99. Oh yeah, because there's posts about the Y2K. Your computer's not ready for Y2K. That's this year, so they are students. That's relevant information. These are set. That's 2, 3. What do we do about Elias now? I'm stumped on what to do with Elias. So this will be 4 and 5, and then there's another 5 there. So yeah, we're down to the last 2 chunks. What time is it? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, we'll do our ducky, our magic ducky. Bess Williams mentioned a notable place. You should check that. Also, I appreciate that the hints are like, look at this, and then if you still don't get it, you can ask for more hints, but it still lets you like figure it out. The Bocadoro Library. So this is the person who wrote the book about Elias that essentially was just propaganda. Ah! The Bocadoro Library no longer exists. You find multiple libraries in the area. According to the website for the library system in Miami, the building where it once sat is now the Miami Print Museum. Searching for the Miami Print Museum, you come across their website. It states that their hours and lists of exhibit. The building is very small. Admission is free. They only have room for a few different displays. One of the exhibits in their courtyard, which includes a fountain as well as a statue of an unknown author. A picture has been added to your evidence. Another is printing press that was used by the Miami Sunday, a now defunct weekly newspaper. The last is the original print of Cuba by Cubans, an art book. The Miami Sunday has no records that you can find online or in your periodical search. It merged with another periodical and became the Miami Mercury Sunday. Only lasted a year. You find a small website about quirky printing history and facts that mentions the Miami Mercury Sunday. It was the outcome of merging 2 smaller failing newspapers. That resulted in 1 larger failing newspaper, which is only notable to the author because of the combining names the way it did. It was tied for the longest title for an American newspaper at the time, which is a newspaper in with a newspaper in Jefferson, Texas. It's Cuba by Cubans. Not related. Okay. So what did we get? We got this. That's somebody. So what is it called? It's called an unknown author. Miami Print Museum. I bet it's Bess. She is an author, true. And I mean, if she was having an affair with Elias, that would make sense that she would write a book about him that was basically just, like, inflating his ego, so. Williams? Yeah. So we call her a writer. No. It did say she was a secretary, so they might have had a secret child. Author, right, author. That's right. Yeah. She lived outside of Miami and died in a hurricane. Oh, she died young, though. Can we go back to reading Family Man? Nothing new about Elias from what you know of his true feelings towards him. Let's go back to... Well, let's check this. It would be in a periodical, maybe? What was it called? The museum? Ah! Butler's... yes. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'd realized it was called Miami. I'm like, wait, no. What else do we have then? News time? Family Man just comes up saying that it was basically propaganda. What do you got, Ducky? What do you got for me? You want information from before the merger, so maybe we'll look up the Miami Sunday? Check news time, check Piketty. Mercury Sunday? Miami Mercury? Hey, big brain! Defunct newspaper that merged with the Miami Sunday, resulting in the newspaper Miami Mercury Sunday. Went out of business. At some point during this process, released partially archived and available in your periodicals. We also just got an achievement for finding all of the periodicals, so... I forget what we were looking for now. Bess Williams. Okay, hang on. Let's do... Well, we have an Elias section, so that's all we have left, so we'll just go to Elias. Mentions Beth's young son was now an orphan. Bum, bum, bum. Later mentions in 1949, later last year, the paper existed about a bidding war plan for an expansion of the library. In 1950, Wildcat Construction. Frank Wildcat Williams left Florida in 1941, a construction worker, and returned a hero. Won the Navy Cross for his bravery and sacrifice, carried a fellow soldier to safety under heavy Nazi fire. He and his wife Ophelia are carrying his fellow soldiers through tough times at home. Wildcat Construction is Frank's company focused on creating opportunities for soldiers finding difficulty getting back to normal. Ophelia has handled outreach to the wives of local vet. Okay, hang on, let's fill this in before we forget. Ophelia. And this is Frank Williams. Okay. I'm a bit of a sore spot for local politicians, business owners. Bids are often not as low as they expected. Frank has a selective monopoly, but any attempt to circumvent it has caused an uproar and accusations of being un-American. It is uncertain what will become of Wildcat Construction, but at least now we're rooting for him. Frank Wildcat Williams. Dun, dun, dun. He died at 96 at 74 in a retirement community in Sweetwater, Florida. An obituary on the website of a local news channel was written by a surviving family member, also sheds light on his personal life. He grew up as orphan because a family died in a hurricane when he was young. He could barely remember his mother and no memory of his father. After the war, he ran a construction company that mainly hired World War II veterans and did a lot of jobs around the greater Miami area. He was born a joker. Wait. Hang on, I'll check something in a second. He was born a joker and in a shining light to those veterans who needed it most. An anecdote mentions that he used to insist he married his wife Ophelia as a matter of courtesy and convenience. She wouldn't have to change her last name. Russell Williams. Nope. Photo is attached. Frank in his youth juggling hammers in front of one of his construction sites. According to the article, he is survived by Ophelia as well as his daughters Barb and Sharon Williams. Okay. Well, we call him construction. And then where is he? Here. Oh, there's the photo of his, there's the statue of his mom in the back. Okay. We're missing something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is he a CEO maybe? Fuck. We're missing something. Missing something. What are we missing? What are we missing? Yeah, we did that already. Yeah, we did that already. Unless you want me to call her Bess. But I think it was like Elizabeth Bess. You feeling Frank Williams? I did! It does work in construction. Okay. There it is. Schmantics. It's fine. It's fine. We're down to the last 5 naming issues. Because I called him a construction worker, and then his mom's name was Bess, and not Elizabeth, and yeah. Okay, guy is done. This one's done. Miracle's done. This is not right. Mary Beth Quaker. Give me a second here. What would she be in? Mary Beth Clementine. Trying to find the name of her husband. Sterling. It was Sterling Edison? New Edison. Fun case because the name of the lawsuit is actually the biggest problem for the person being sued. Record producer who called himself Edison was immediately outed as not being named Edison. Edsel was a German name of the name. Okay, so maybe it's Edsel? Okay, that might do it. Okay, we have... No. Wait, yeah, no. Okay, so there was, they have two kids. One of them they were the guardian of, and then their kids got married. Because they're not actually blood related, but they, okay. Took me a second to wrap my head around that. Okay, what were we doing last? His daughters, Barb and Sharon Williams. Am I reading this right? Barb and Sharon Williams... No, wait. Oh, okay, no. I was like, wait, these are connected? No, they're not. I didn't see fucking John Doe right here. Okay, so they had a daughter who got pregnant, and then they split up, and then they raised one. Ah, okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. Barb and Sharon. Yeah. Now I was trying to figure out what was going on with the thing. Yeah. Barbara. Barb. Oh! Barb Williams is a motivational speaker and she has a website that explains the services she offers. Her company is listed as in Coconut Grove, Florida. Flyer's been added to your evidence. Here we go. Barbara. Different testimonials from Greta Jones, Vic Elmsworth, Kiwika Falls Gazette. There is no Kikiwa Falls anywhere in the world that you can find. The closest thing to a Kikiwa appears to be in New Zealand. Instead, a man named Chris Elmsworth has invented a small-town newspaper as a conceptual art piece. The Kikiwa Falls Gazette is a series of online articles about small restaurant shows and other tourist attractions across America. This is presented as a monthly newspaper of small-town America. What makes the Kikiwa Falls Gazette a bit strange is that amongst the articles detailing real locations, there are occasionally stories that present outlandish, inflammatory concepts that in extremely mundane ways. For example, on the homepage right now, there's an article titled "Mermaids Strike Back Against Lobster Farms." Hey, how you doing? It uses very dry language and details the idea that mermaids in Maine have begun to unionize in support of better benefits. There are no punchlines and the articles are not marked by any differently from the rest. There are no archives of older issues. Okay, who's Chris Elmsworth? I'm alright, I'm alright. Might be a nowhere. Might go nowhere. Okay. Oh, Vic Elmsworth. Personal page is apparently one of 3 brothers. All 3 of them are contributors to a new newspaper called the Kikiwa Falls Gazette. Tends to focus more on the southeastern United States of the articles he's written for the okay. According to Victor, he'd seen Barb talk more than once. On his particular occasion, Barb's talk was a very large church, and it was clear she was an expert at matching the presentation of her concepts. Received a standing ovation. Started with a story about loss, specifically the loss of a bicyclist who'd been hit by a car. She spoke about the death of any person as a darkness in their loved ones, a cold, empty void that begins to creep in a space where there was once light. Because the light can never return exactly to how it once was, she says the only option is to nurture new sources of light to help fight the darkness. Her conclusion was that finding the hidden meanings of tragedy is the most important thing we can do. She used multiple biblical comparisons and finished by looping back around to her initial story about how she personally came around to this ideology. The biker who died was her son-in-law, and the Lanes Across America charity was created to fill in the newfound darkness to her daughter. This one? No. Wait! Right, her daughter and her son-in-law. This one's Barb. Speaker. Public speaker. Right, because this is her daughter. It's just the whole way this tree is like framed makes it really confusing. Yeah. Lanes Across America. Formerly Lamb was founded in 1987 after the death of Drew Smith. Let me do this here real fast. I forget. Bloop. I can come from work when you sit by a car each year since Lanes Across America has grown. Okay. Drew Smith. Oh. Sharon Smith? Oh, right, because it mentions 2 daughters, Barb and Sharon. Okay, what do I have in here? Piketty. No. Back over here. Sharon Smith. Yeah, we did that. What else you got for me, Ducky? Lamb. Lamb means to hit someone. Apparently lamb is too common of a word to provide you with any specifics. Wow. Charity? Lamb and Mercury? Nope. Oh, lanes. Hang on. Lanes cross Miami? Ah, that's what the M stands for. Founded by Sharon Smith after the death of her husband. Stepped down in 92, current leadership took over. One of the oldest articles is uncropped version of the same wedding photo from the LAA website. Seems that Sharon left Lamb that began to crop her and the rest of her wedding party out of the photo, focus only on Drew. Wow, rude? You... There's been a lot of same brain happening. Bum, 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 bum. So what if we do this? No. Okay. Who are these guys? That's probably her mom? And her dad? No. Her mom. Who's that guy? Okay, well now what though? Sharon Smith and the Mercury Times? No. Sharon Williams? No. What do you got for me, Ducky? Barb Williams' flyer has more quotes of interest, does it? Barb. Right here. Oh, WQTV 12? Let's check this. You do find it listed on a giant list of television call signs next to the city of Springfield under the heading Effingham County. You may need to do a deeper dive on a specific city or state to see if any locals have discussed the news in the area. One is in Georgia, the other is in Illinois. There are over 30 for Springfields in the United States. You need to find a list of the state you're looking after. Flyer says Greta Jones. Actually, let's Google Greta Jones. Too common of a name to find anything. God damn it! What about Greta Jones WQTV 12? Fuck off. Okay. Benton County? IL then GA? Okay. This one goes nowhere. Effingham County. IL. What am I looking for? Springfield, GA. Okay. You'll find your search to a television in and around Springfield, Georgia when you come across a website that lists different channels available there. Seems to be a feature broadcast. Channel 12. Greta Flores. Went by Greta Jones before her divorce. Compared to the ordeal you've gone through to simply figure out her name. Compared to the ordeal you've gone through to simply figure out her current name, it's way easier than you expect to find that she has a website of her accomplishments. She was apparently an MC for an all-female speaking tour in '97. Storytellers of Sisterhood, the Mothers and Daughters of Earth. You do a search for it, and it seems that some of the stories were compiled into a book simply titled 25 Stories of Sisterhood by Ayla Hale. Anthology stories told on a few different storytellers tours, contains direct transcripts. Ayla Hale's the editor, not the sole author. One of the stories by Barb Williams has been added to your evidence. Barb Williams had the transcript of a story she told on stage published into a book. The first part of her story focuses on two 16-year-old girls. My sister, Sherry, was always a brat, always sulking, often disobedient, never on time. She borrowed things without asking, even ran away from home, only to sneak back the next day like nothing had changed. My daughter, Sharon, on the other hand, was a beautiful person. She had excellent marks in school and was intensely artistic and creative and even volunteered at the animal shelter. She continues to tell stories of the two girls until she shifts the narrative. What was the difference between Sherry the brat and Sharon the beauty? Is it nature, nurture, a better education, different opportunities? The answer is nothing, because there was no difference, because my sister and my daughter are the same girl. Oh. Barb reveals that the daughter was a pregnancy when she was 15. I met a boy at a county fair. Unlike us, he lived in a nice part of town. He went to a good school. To a teenage girl, felt like a fairy tale. There were boxes all over his house. He was moving in 3 days, and those 3 days were heaven to me. The final lady surprised me, told me he could actually see me again soon, and planned return to visit his grandparents. I thought I was giving him a reason to keep his promise. I never saw him again. When I finally got desperate enough to ask around for a friend told me he hadn't even given me his real last name. It's Sister Mom, yeah. Barb also talks about how she found out she was pregnant. I was convinced my life was over, but my parents took charge. I had to live at home and do a part-time job, but they removed the burden of motherhood. I managed to scrape out a degree in English. As far as my daughter was concerned, I was her much older sister. Barb uses the story to come to the conclusion. When I was younger, I thought my sister was a brat, and I wasn't wrong. She ran away from her home to work at the animal shelter. She borrowed my clothes for presentations at school, and her creativity allowed her to open up Sherry's hair. It took me too long to realize that the beauty was always there too. In fact, the brat and the beauty exists in all of us. It was my inner brat that kept me blind to the truth, and I'd like to say that the beauty in me was finally able to see what I was missing. I implore you to call upon the beauties in yourselves whenever the brat tries to take hold. So she's a hairstylist. And what was it called? Sherry's hair. Oh. Sherry's height. Sherry, yes, what? Large van on weekends can bring a style of Brittany, Christina, or even Rachel to your door. The Rachel. Yeah. She did remarry, that's right. That's right. We'll lose it. We're gonna give it to him. Welcome back, music. We're almost done. We're down to the last few. You hear right for the ending. We're down to the final 3. It's the final countdown. The family they have their problems. Very, very long, presented as one paragraph with multiple run-on sentences and no pictures. You get the sense that if she were to do your hair, she'd be doing a lot of talking. It mentions that her husband, Pete, was her late husband's college roommate, and she had never spent any significant time together until she became a widow, and they built a charity together. They left the charity. Oh, it's him. This is Pete. Whoops. Bum, bum, bum. And they were roommates. Her kids, Tony, Mark, and Cricket. Her oldest, Tony, gets the short end of the stick. Okay, so this is Tony. Yo, Tony! Anthony? Smith? Mark with a C. Winch. Mark. Yes. And Cricket. Yes. Crickets. Her oldest, Tony, seems to get the short end of the stick. His two listed accomplishments are that he's the oldest and a straight A student. Mark, on the other hand, has multiple baseball accomplishments listed. Apparently, his little team is naturally recognized. Cricket York is near the end and has an entire section dedicated to her. She's an actress at the local television show called Liberry Library, and the reason Sherry relocated from Miami to Orlando. Oh, okay. Sherry, in addition to being hireable to come do your do, is a stylist for the show. A passage also mentions that her agent recommended they change her last name to York since it was easier to pronounce. The rest of the section describes how she got the part, but it seems unimportant to your search. So should we change this to York? Cricket York. Alright, Quicket. Yeah. Libberry Library is a children's show filmed in Orlando, Florida. Has been on air since '91. In the show, multiple adults and children interact with different animal puppets in a small town called Libberry. Unlike some of the other popular shows involving non-human performers, this one isn't funded by the public. Instead, it is paid for by donations and businesses related to education. It includes textbook manufacturers like Corithmetic, tutoring companies such as Educate to You, as well as a few known publishers of picture books. From what you can find, it's syndicated in a few markets across the southern United States and in New Hampshire for some reason. Like most other children's entertainment, and any of those that grew up with it tend to have fond memories. That works in your favor because the show has been documented by a few fan sites. There's even a library web ring, even though it only has 3 entries. You click through the sites of the ring and find that Cricket York is joined the cast in '97 at the age of 5 and is still listed as a current cast member. A picture from Cricket has been added to your evidence. Cricket. Would you be an actor or a student? And then we have student. Probably student and baseball. Sport. Probably student. Jack and Nori, British TV show where various famous people would read kids' books. Ah! That also reminds me of, in Canada, we had a show, I think it was Canadian, called Between the Lions, with, like, puppets in a library. Search the Boys? Yes, that's next. Tony. At time using split names merged. What? Oh, yeah. The game dev who combines names. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Mark. What was his name? Mark. Mark Smith? Such a generic name. Oh, you know what? Let's check Teen Blast for Cricket York. No. Piketty? No. I mean, it's very valid. It's very valid. News time? Nope. Let's go Teen Blast and then Mark Smith if he's a nope. Let's check Libberry Library. Oh, it just goes to the same one. Yeah. Hint? Yeah, we can hit the hint in a sec. Let me just check these first. Nobody related to search. Educate. Oh, this is related somehow. Tutoring service. They have a deal with Library. I don't know why this name is fucking me up so bad. Library. Website featuring some of the actors from the show and pictures on the website. According to the website, they actually provide tutoring for all the actors and actresses on the show to accommodate their shooting. Included is Cricket York, who's seen in a photo labeled Cricket, and her brother's ready to learn. Ah. Cricket. Library. Library. Here. Just gonna do this. The older one. That's the younger one. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. Her last name? Change it from York back to yeah. Ah, the York was a red herring. We got it. They want the maiden names. I got drawn into the fucking fake out. That's it?
Hi again. I know you probably thought you were done, but it turns out what you're doing here might have some pretty major repercussions on the family
No
tree.
shit. You think?
Again. Also, there's something really strange happening. I can't explain it.
Neither of us can.
I'd call it a simple misunderstanding, but it's digging at the pit of my stomach. I just have a feeling. Clark?
Last week, let's just say being the president, sometimes people bring me things.
Just skip to the important part.
Right. One of our janitors brought me some hair she'd found in
I
Ruby
told
Spratt's
you.
trash. It was Bonnie Hudson's.
I said from the start, Ruby's probably got something going on.
Bonnie is Guy's sister. She'd sent us her hair to test potential root trees, since her DNA is closest to Guy's. But Ruby threw it out, and I wasn't sure why she would have done that. Especially right before we began testing the tree you provided. When I asked, she told me she thought the samples needed to be fresh every time they did a test.
It seems really odd. Ruby was the one who convinced us to do DNA testing in the first place. She seemed so knowledgeable. I don't like it. You've done more of a deep dive on these people than anybody else has. Clark will keep a closer eye on the DNA tests from now on. You have an eye for anomalies. We need you to find the smoking guns.
If there's anyone you're 100% positive can't be a root tree,
Or any you've got definitive evidence are root trees, then we might be able to catch Ruby in a lie.
Oh god. After putting together... Ruby Spratt, the company's lawyer, was caught throwing away the DNA samples from Bonnie Hudson. These were intended to be used to test new potential root trees. Something doesn't sit right with Sam. Bam, bam, bam. You can verify which people in the dotted boxes are almost certainly legitimate root trees, very unlikely to be legitimate root trees, and which of them are too ambiguous to make a decision over one way or the other. Additionally, with the suspicion of Ruby Sprat, it's possible that some of her behaviors in the past may have also been cast into doubt. A new section of the tree has been added for you to fill in. There was another one. Oh god. Where do we even start? Ah! Susan Ford's kids. We know they are? Do we know for sure, though? Oh, this is nice. Thanks for the cheat sheet. Okay. This is so helpful. What the fuck? Husband got angry. We're missing a clue here. We're missing a clue here. Oh god. We're missing clues here. Oh no. Oh, we're missing multiple clues here. God damn it. Fuck. We're not done. Oh, we're not done. I thought we were done. Okay, this one I think we're really sure. This one I think we're sure about. Oh my god. So this one, I don't know. We're missing some evidence here. Do we have an extra pick of cricket? She's in here somewhere. Fuck. She's in here somewhere. Where is it? With her brothers. Down here. There it is. We're missing so many clues on this guy. Oh my god. How are we supposed to figure this out? What do you have to say, Mr. Duck? Spider searches the results for a mentioned a periodical article. Anonymom. news time. Oh. Person only mentioned the phrase anonymom in news time came the week after when they issued an apology. This one. So the person who was... Wait, because there was this one who got DNA tested and it said it wasn't right. She wasn't. What if Ruby destroyed her evidence so that it would say this person wasn't? What if that... It was determined... Yeah. Determined through a DNA test that Anonymom's daughter was not a roottree. This article, which did refer to her daughter as Jane Doe Roottree, did not coin the phrase Anonymom. So I bet this is Anonymom. And this is Jane Doe Roottree. Unlike 5Ps, she wanted to remain anonymous and both photos were obscured. The anonymous woman claimed to have had an affair with Guy Hudson while she was working as a secretary. She and another woman were hired at the same time during the transitional period while many of the secretaries that worked under Zach Morden were already gone. She says that she and the other woman were both underqualified and neither had any typewriter experience. According to other staff members interviewed, Guy had his own requirements for hiring women. Yes. She was hired with somebody else. So, if we go back... Hang on, we need a new page. A new page in a book. Anonymous. What time is it? This is almost 10 o'clock, so she was working... She and another woman were hired at the same time. We are missing a lot of evidence. I say... We'll leave this here. We'll leave this here for now, because we have a lot of shit we still need to look up. Yeah, we gotta fill in the blanks here, because, like, especially 5Ps, we're missing a shit ton of his stuff. We're missing things for the boys. We gotta decide if everybody who's who. So, his hair... That's what I was thinking. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not and Anonymom is. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. We'll save this here. We're gonna save this here. I will end stream for tonight. Because, yeah, this ended... I thought we were gonna finish tonight, and this ended up being unexpectedly, busy. It's alright, it's alright. Let's see. Let's go bug. Let's go bug. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. It is good. I like it. Bug Lopki. Yeah, we got another little twisty at the end. It's great. I love these games. I didn't expect to Tell Me Who's Real. I didn't expect that one, so. I really love these games, and I'm looking forward to... There's another game coming out by these guys, and in the next couple months, I think? You think Susan's right? Thank you for hanging out, Geek. I appreciate you stopping by and for the follow earlier. Hopefully we see you again soon. Yeah, that's it. I'll be back on Saturday, 7 Central. We'll wrap this up, and then we'll find something else to do to fill the time, because I don't think this is going to take me 3 hours to do. That would make all of Frank's... Well, we only have to do the ones that are in the checkered boxes. So I think it's mostly just the direct descendants of the affairs. We'll see. We'll take a look at it on Saturday. Voices or something? Or something. Hello? Oh, my stream died!